These are the top 16 in Swiss for the first Vanguard DivineZ tournament. We have Dragres, Rezael, Magnolia, Unica, and also Welstra. We look at the top 4 of the whole tournament first, and then we'll go through the Divine decks. First place we have PRISM. Second, Magnolia. Third, Shiranui. And fourth, we have MyGo. Here's the deck list for PRISM. If you don't know, Soul Blast 1, you can bounce a rear guard and this gets +5. And on attack CB1, you can call 2 PRISM units from your hand and draw 1. If your opponent is grade 3, your front gets +5 and this gets a crit. PRISM can do up to 5 attacks. And they can get really big if you Persona Road. And these PRISM units get +5 power and shield. And they can bounce themselves. So it's really good against Shiranui since you can bounce your whole field. So for the first turn of Shiranui, if they're using the grade 2 Shoujo Doji in the ride line, they won't be able to dominate anything. And then you can use Aura to search out Bracing Ladder, which gives your board resist. So you can use it for your next turn, and then Shiranui won't be able to do much after that as well. So this is a great deck against Shiranui. And for Valsh, you can also bounce Valsh. So her skill is on place, you can CB1 and give your front +5 for the whole turn if you Persona Road. So you can do it 2 times if you have enough CB, which gives your front +10. So your front will now get +10, another 10 from Persona Ride, gets +5 from their skill, and these get +5 as well from their own skill. And this one gives the PRISM unit that was placed +5 as well. So they get really big. And you can also search Sweet X Sweet with Aura, or also Elementaria. So this guy is running 3 cats or mouse, which allows you to get a Persona Ride from drop or soul. So really solid deck. Next we have is Magnolia Masques. It's actually not the Elder, which got support. So Magnolia Masques, your rear guards with Dragon Tree markers can attack from the back row and gets +10. And if you remove a Magnolia, for each attack of your back row rear guard, you can retire one of your opponent's rear guards. This player is running the new PR, which is if you have a Vanguard with Magnolia Masques on place, you can Soul Blast 1, it gets +5, and counter charge if you haven't counter charged that turn. And it can intercept from the back row and gets +5,000 shield for each Dragon Tree marker. Then this one, you can CB1 to revive up to the same number of Dragon Tree markers you have. So if you have 3 Dragon Tree markers, you can call 3. Then of course you need the Dragon Tree marker generators and the Mask Searcher. Then running 3 Serral and Disorder, 3 Mystiarch. In the inlet order, discard the top card of your deck, and if you choose and then you can choose a card from drop. If it's a unit card, you can call it, and if it's a normal order, you add it to hand. And running 3 Mask. Third place we have Shiranui. Not running Izusau, the stealth card grade 2, also for Shoujo Doji. That card is for the grade 2 game, so maybe he expected to not run into any other stride decks, since maybe people wanted to use the new decks. Not running Blorvis, just running the normal Shiranui. I don't know why. Then also 4 Brachiophores with 4 of the PRs, and this guy is running the Restander Heal. So that's it for Shiranui. Fourth place is MyGo. They have more extra slots now because of the 50 card main deck rule, so they had to add more orders. This deck is still not in English, since it's just collab. So that's it for MyGo. The deck that a lot of you guys are excited for, Vargra Dragres. So on attack, CB1, you retire your front row and your opponent's front row, and this gets +10. And at the end of the battle, you can stand it, but it gets -2 drives. For the divine skill, if your opponent's vanguard is grade 3 or greater, and if your opponent is at 4 damage or more, and this has attacked 2 or more times this turn, CB1, and you can stand this, and this gets +2 drives. So divine skill is pretty crazy. You get another vanguard attack with 2 drives, so that's +2 and more pressure, but they added some restrictions to make it balance. Then this grade 3, if you don't have a same card name as this unit in your front row, this gets +10 and cannot be retired by card effects, so it won't be retired by Dragres. And if you have a Varga Vanguard, this gets boost. Shura, on attack, energy blast 2, this gets +5, and you can choose you can give one of your rear guards with a different card name from this unit an ability, which is when it's retired, you can add it back to hand. And then when this is retired by your Varga Vanguard and your opponent is at grade 3 or greater, you can CB1 to call it back to rear guard, and it gets +10. And running the 4 cyclers from set 10, then this grade 1 is a 13k booster if you have a Varga Vanguard, and when it boosts your Varga Vanguard, it gets an additional 2000 power, so it's 15k booster. And at the end of the battle, you can Soul Blast 1, retire this, and draw 1. This is a common from set 7. When your Vanguard stand by a card's ability, you can retire it and draw 1. Or you can get a lot of draws from this deck. So running 4 fronts. And this Blitz Order from set 11, you can choose one of your guardians and give it an ability. When it is retired in the guardian circle, you can add it back to hand, and it gets +10,000 shield. So really solid deck. This is a great deck for just having one set of support. Now for Rezael, we have this. On attack, CB1, you can choose 2 cards from your drop with a different grade. Their total grades must be less than or equal to your cards in your damage zone, and you can call them to rear. And then divine skill, Soul Blast 1, you return all of your critical triggers and drop to your deck, and this gets +1 drive. And you can only ride Rezael, until the end of the game. And every time you get a trigger that is not a heal and you have 5 or more damage, you can heal 1. So if you get OT, you will still heal. So pretty good. The divine skill, if you hit the timing right, it's gonna impact the game significantly. This guy's running 2 Sages, 3 of the new generic for Keter Sanctuary. This one on place, you can CB1 to check top 3 and call 1 and put the rest to the bottom of your deck. But if it's the battle phase, you reveal it and add it to your hand instead of calling it. Then on attack, you can Soul Blast 1 and it gets +10. Running 48 Fault, 2 Kadwala, 2 Turnars, and 4 of the PR that the word also uses. The dog or the wolf. And running 3 Angelica Orders. Okay, so that's the deck. For Welstra, you're still running a lot of the old cards. You just add the new ride line with 2 of the new Blitz Triple Rare, and yeah, you're still running a lot of the old stuff. And this player added 2 of the new orders with effect fronts. Welstra Blitz Arm skill is on attack, energy blast 2, choose a product from your order zone and operate it, and this gets +10. So you won't need CB anymore for every time you want to operate with the on attack skill. And the divine skill is CB1. You can choose 2 product cards with different card names from your hand and put them into the order zone. If you put 2 cards, choose a product from your order zone and operate it. for this divine skill, if you compare it to others, this one you want to activate it as early as possible. So when you ride it, you just use it instantly to set up. Then to rest, during your turn, if your order zone has a product, this gets +5, and then on attack, you can CB1 to choose a product from your order zone and operate it. So CB1 to operate, and you still want to run the 4 free height and the 4 of this girl, and then this robot, then this, and then the new product card, which is pretty good, Uriante. When this is put into your order zone, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Welstra in its card name, you can draw and energy charge 3. And if you operate it in the battle phase with Welstra, and it was not put into the order zone this turn, you can choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it, choose one of your opponent's Vanguard, and until end of turn it gets -10. And if your opponent's damage zone has 4 or less cards, you deal 1 damage. So pretty good. You can deal 1 damage to your opponent, give him -10. You also get some energy. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.